Hello and welcome. Now, we have heard from the president himself. We've heard from a policy analyst. We've heard from academia. But today we're going to hear from the politicians themselves, all in connection with the State of the Nation address. In fact, indeed, is the House so sharply divided on political lines that the nation does not matter? Are there any individuals across board who will say, I'm happy with this and I'm not happy with that? Or are they all towing the same line because I'm sat on the left or the right hand on the side? We have to find out. Is there anything at all that the president said which the NDC might think, no, go back and think about it? Or is there anything at all the president said which the NPP will say, that's good, we would have said the same? Well, when I come back, I am talking to Alex Afenyomaking, who's an Honorable Member of Parliament for Efutu, and Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, who is an Honorable Member of Parliament for Nanton, and also a Deputy Minister for Information. Tonight, it's going to be an interesting chat. My name is Nanan Sakwao, and this is PM Express. State of the Nation address from political lenses, and that's what we're here to discuss. And gentlemen, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, it's going to be difficult. In fact, we've already announced that you were coming this evening. I've had a few calls anticipating in anticipation to the show. These are two hardcore backbenchers, man. You can't avoid these two if you're in Parliament. But Alex, let me start with you. Just something in the president's speech which you think, look, as for this one, he got it 100%. I would have done the same. We're in support.
Well, if I am compelled to find a response,
I mean, it's 62 pages, man.
Yes. If you're compelling me to say something, I would say that he came closer to saying something positive when he urged all of us to be patriotic. But I always say that enjoining somebody to get on board to do that which is expected of him, you, the person delivering the message, must demonstrate and show by good example, as well as those who are so close to you, that indeed you are yourself on board. So yes, that mere statement, I think that call on all of us to be patriotic is something that I would say, yes, I welcome, but it must start from the government down to all those in executive positions.
Okay.
I get particularly worried.
No, I don't want to get to your worried. I want your good bits, and then we'll get to your worried bits later.
Oh, well, I'm saying that at least
he called for patriotism.
That call, but the weight of it got lost when, looking at the person saying, urging all of us to be patriotic. You cannot see a demonstration of that in the government.
Okay, hold on there.
So that is what negates the call.
Okay, so I'll let you react to this, but I want you to find something in the statement which you think, look, he's my boss, but I think we could have added this to this part of the statement. Well, 62 pages. I want you to look through it and say, look, he's my boss, he did very well, but on the subject of A, B, C, D, I think maybe we could have gone further to do this.
Let me say good evening to your cherished viewers, first and foremost, and quickly say that in as much as we are not in the position to praise ourselves as a political party and a government, I really don't think that I'll be able to tell you specifically that His Excellency the President could have said something different. Invariably, I'll be questioning the sense of judgment of His Excellency the President. But let me be very sincere with you. I think that it was by far one of the finest State of the Nation's address. Possibly maybe people felt that he was being so charitable, that he could have indeed been hitting harder. But as far as I'm concerned, he is to tell the people of this country the state of the nation. What I was possibly expecting, that certainly His Excellency the President could have more or less showcased most of the things that are done. You realize at a point in time the minority leader could not help but to nod when His Excellency the President made specific routes that are under construction in his constituency. I was expecting possibly maybe he could have done the same to other members of parliament who are radically opposed to this government, because I do know that there are lots of infrastructure development that are going on. Yes, maybe His Excellency the President could have indeed looked at proposal and says ABC is going on, because we do know that there are a lot of projects that are going on. In fact, another classical example has to do with the Eastern Corridor Road. Is specifically passing through the deputy minority, the Western,
we started the debate.
Oh no, I'm coming. The Eastern Corridor Road, it specifically passes through Honorable Nitowol's constituency. Maybe I would have expected the President to say even Honorable Nitowol is a beneficiary to some of the projects that we are executing.
No. He's saying that to add to the statement, the President could have pinpointed a few guys and said, look, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You were just saying.
No, but I guess you told me. I guess you asked me that what would I have.
We get set. Yeah, we have to get set. Yes, this is just
but if we are here to get set and somebody takes off.
No, Nana, I guess you asked me. As to what thing did I think that His Excellency the President could have added which he didn't. And I'm saying that His Excellency the President could have added the fact that deputy minority leaders constituency, Bimbila, that road, the Eastern Corridor is going through that road, and a lot of development is going on. Maybe His Excellency the President could have pointed out. But I don't know whether I can quickly respond to.
No, you're going to respond about. Okay. But I want to add to you that don't you think maybe just adding timelines, that 6 months, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, start today, would have added more weight to the statement. I mean, there were so many things that have been directed, about to start, going on. Maybe the time, just the date, in 2 weeks, within 3 months, could have added more weight to the statement.
Well, I think even if the President had done that, you would have indeed found another questions why you think that the President should have touched on. We are talking about the state of the nation. And you remember some of the things His Excellency the President said in the State of the Nation in 2013. This time around, he has indicated that in 2013, we said we were going to do this. 2014, he said these things have begun. A classical example has to do with the Kwame Nkrumah Circle. It was indeed captured in the 2013 State of the Nation address. Today, in this 2014, he indicated that work has actually begun. And you don't need even a vehicle to get to Kwame Nkrumah Circle to see whether indeed work has actually begun or not. So if you are looking at the State of the Nation specifically, I don't think that you would expect the President to just say that this and this. The issue of the 200 senior high, and the reasons why.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
That one he gave specific.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, that one he gave specific. I'm just responding. He gave specific, and he said that on the 3rd of March, that will be on Thursday next month, work will begin on that. And I guess he gave specific. I haven't perusing through the State of the Nation's address, submitted by previous presidents as far as the 4th Republican, Constitution is concerned. I think that no one has been able to give a specific than what His Excellency the President.
Very good. Now I'm going to come to Alex. Alex, now you're a lawyer, you're literally coming from Chambers. I did not hear anything to do with the legal fraternity, the justice system in the statement. Now, I had the misfortune of going into court just this month, and I was, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, the state of the courts. We say freedom and justice, and we have so much freedom, but the justice, we seem to have forgotten it. I mean, would you have wanted to hear something in the statement with regards to the judiciary of the justice system?
Well, Nana, let me point out that, you see, yesterday I was so disappointed because here we were, a president addressing us with all the foreign dignitaries around, and I was listening to something unexciting, uninspiring, and basically a poetry reciter.
Alex, were you in Parliament?
Yes, I was in Parliament, and I'll come to that.
Okay.
It was more of somebody lecturing and talking about theorists. And I simply can describe His Excellency as a theorist. I say so because, one, you are in government and you've been there for 6 years. Then you come and talk about change. That we need to change the way we do things, we need to do this, everything. He started off by talking about change. Yet in your own government, where you've had a former president, where you've had various advisors, senior people in society, well placed, telling you that your cabinet is not performing, reshuffle. You say, no, you're not going to do that. We've had several calls on you to look at your appointees in all sectors. You've not heeded to that call. So that change that the president was talking about, he himself had not begun that. And to me, it was one of those usual rhetorics. You see, if you talk about changing the way we do things, running the economy, you've been in charge. The question is that, what have you done so far? Your commitment to good governance, your commitment to transparency, and your desire and your zeal to fight against corruption. There are several of those. He and I know that when we come to SADA, yesterday, when the president was talking so much about the need for infrastructure development, building the Ghanaian, and I said, here we were, a government that gave so much support to the private sector to develop an initiative under this PPP program. And said companies were not able to account, could not deliver. Today, they get the awards, and what is happening to them? You come to JIDA, there's several, issues of corruption, and you see, it's not just about talking about one or two things and saying that you are prosecuting, so yes, we should applaud you. We will not applaud you because you are being selective. If the issues are there, you say you have abrogated contract. Meanwhile, there's no contract. If you describe joint venture to mean contract, then what are you telling us? So, in a simple description, I say that the state of Ghana today is about people not being able to afford the basic necessities of life, rent they cannot pay, food, utilities. We are not even getting our social needs being supplied. Electricity and water, we still have it. Now, again, finally, we saw the difference between propaganda politics and policy-based politics. Yesterday, at least, let me end, Nana.
Okay.
Yesterday, at least, the president, in all his lecture, came to the realization that the vision of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo of making free SHS free was a reality.
Okay, then when
and when the minority suddenly said, "Hey, are you now coming to this realization?" He said, "Oh," he then qualified it and said, "Oh, progressive." Please, at least I was expecting that sincerity to come from His Excellency. That look, yes, I did propaganda in my campaign. I've now realized that this is what the people of Ghana need. And without trying to say that, oh, when it is free, quality will be compromised. In a nutshell, this is...
Round it up for me.
In a nutshell, the whole statement, the delivery, lacked a policy direction for all sectors of the economy. And I think that apart from the humor that made some of us got ourselves relieved of the stress, nothing more. And Ghanaians did not see anything new. All that he's talking about, I just wanted to land respectfully. All that he's talking about, if you take so much taxes from the Ghanaian and Kwame Nkrumah circle, you are talking about Kwame Nkrumah circle? go to the remotest part of this country where people cannot have basic infrastructure.
Let me let Ibrahim react. But he's been a gentleman. And I'm sure
sure.
So
there are some people who do theirs in silence. Instead of he's not talking about it. Yeah, I agree. Instead of being praised, all laughter. It's part of the intimidation. You get my point.
No, he has.
So if I have to land, yes, I am saying charity begins at home.
Okay.
Mr. President, you've said so much, you've done so little. We want concrete action. We want substance. We save us. Yes, we know your oratory skills. You know you're a good communicator. But at this stage, Ghanaians don't want communication. They want action. They want
one thing I
to
want
change.
You to react to was that.
A whole lot of things, and I'm wondering how many of them.
How will you react? But I want to react to the fact that the president has not demonstrated enough patriotism to make the clarion call. So maybe you can start from there. What else?
My good friend, he will never cease to amaze me. The issue of being patriotic, the issue of being patriotic, it is not the preserve of His Excellency the President. We are all bound, in fact duty bound as citizens of this state to be patriotic. So if the President says that we should be patriotic, whether he demonstrates that or not, in fact the President's demonstration of patriotism doesn't hinge on you as a citizen, and more so a member of Parliament, in fact a member of the legislature, to be patriotic. If the President is there like a reverend minister telling you, fear God, do this, and you say, I won't fear God because I don't see fear God in that reverend minister, I think it's a misplaced argument. The President is calling on all of us to be patriotic. If you want to be patriotic, you need to be because you have a moral duty and a responsibility to be. As whether the President is being patriotic or not, it's a non-issue. In any case, what has the President done that demonstrates that he is not patriotic? What has he done? And if there is any responsible call that can ever be made by any president across the globe to his people, I think that that is the call for his people to be patriotic. Join me to be. It is significant for us also to understand one thing, and I can understand why he thinks that nothing happened yesterday. Because there were days. The entire minority, there were days. In fact, it was technical knockout because of the heap of revelation in terms of projects that have been executed in 2013. The extent to which even the minority leader, the president, was being specific, mentioning road by road. But let's not forget, this free SHS thing, I was flabbergasted that the minority would think in any stretch of imagination that His Excellency the President was talking about Nanado's utopian free SHS thing. You don't need to go far. Go and look at the NDC 2012 manifesto. What His Excellency the President said is there palpably in the NDC 2012 manifesto.
But we have the President tweeting saying that primary should be free.
I'm saying that our position, in fact, not only what was even captured in the manifesto, the President made this point time and again before the 2012 elections. And even at the IE, I have listened to some of them, that the President said that it's not possible. The President said it wasn't possible, and it is still not possible, that utopian free education that Nanado postulated. Where did this whole business of Nanados and their flag bearers free education came from? He appeared at the BBC, an interview, when the journalist, when he said that the education SHS was going to be free. And the host asked him,
you were not expecting to
please,
have the numbers.
Oh, please. And the host asked him, is it feasible? Is it possible to have that? He said yes. Then he asked him, do you know the cost? Emphatic yes. He then asked him the following question, how much is the cost? It's being costed. That is palpably disingenuous way of even, misleading everybody. If I say I know the cost, then they ask you how much is the cost. These are not my words. These were the words of Nanado. Yes, I know the cost. How much is the cost? It's being costed. It means that he certainly didn't know.
Can I finish? Or did he say he would say
it's being costed? Please, hold on. I'm coming. You can prove me wrong. The tapes are available. I watched the tape even yesterday. It's being costed.
Okay.
The man then asked him, I will tell you all the further questions. If you know the cost, I asked you to tell me it's being costed. What is wrong with you telling me? He said, I want to tell the people of Ghana first. Few weeks to the elections, on this same platform here, I was with Nanado's communication director. Honorable, what's the name? The former Minister of Information.
Nanakom.
Yeah. I put a direct and specific question to him about the free SHS. How much is it? And he gave me a precise and sharp response. I don't know. This was his answer. So Nanado didn't know how much the cost was. His communication director didn't know. It was subsequently when they realized that it was going too tough, they quickly came out in a rush with a figure. When we indeed subjected the figure to scrutiny, it flopped. In fact, it felt like a pack of cards. Let me finish. He made a whole lot of statements.
Because I want you to add this to your submission. Because the president tweeted that unless primary was free, there was no need in making SHS free, and it wasn't a priority. He actually tweeted it.
Yes.
And so I'm just saying that if you just oppose that to what he's doing now, is primary free?
I have listened
today?
to a lot of people, even on morning shows, who absolutely misunderstood everything. And I expected even journalists to have done the simple research. If this is the statement the president is making, what was the statement he made with regards to free SHS before the 2012 elections? What is in the NDC's manifesto for 2012? And that is what I'm saying. If you check the tapes, Enjoy FM, you would have the tapes. The president repeatedly said that you cannot have free SHS when even at the basic level it's not free. And you know one interesting thing? This is even a constitutional provision. Article 25 of the 1992 Constitution palpably stated that education should be made progressively free. And I remember even at that time the position. Is the
idea that Nanado invented it, or is the idea that he chose that section?
Nanado couldn't have invented it, and he couldn't have chosen what is captured in the Constitution. Because what is in the Constitution did not say that here and now you should make it free. Nanado's utopian free SHS was that it's going to be free now. And he said that it was going to be free in 2013. Nanado said it.
Did he not say it was going to be gradual? Because
Nanado never said
because
gradual.
He gave percentages of the GDP and how it was going to increase as he went along.
Let's understand one thing. Being gradual is different from saying that I'm going to implement it 2013. It's going to be free. What the NDC is saying, and if you listen to it, and he said that the president, when he said that, and the minority said, the president then said, no, I said progressively free. The speech of the president is available. Check in the speech. Is it different from what he stated?
I'll take a break here, and then when I come back, Alex is going to react.
A lot of time.
No,
you spoke more than I did.
No, you have. You've gone way past it. You've gone way past it. You've gone way past it.
I have to be checking.
When we come back, we continue. Stay tuned. Well, thank you for posting your comments on Facebook. It's fast and coming in plenty. We are looking at the state of the nation address through political lenses. Foga Nukuno says, I saw and heard nice things yesterday in the State of the Nation address. It's not true that the State of the Nation has no policy direction. Defense issues, economic issues, infrastructure, etc. are all policy issues, and you saw that. Mohammed Abdul Rafiq, you want us to talk about the baby that got stolen. Of course, we'll get a platform for that. And you actually said a very naughty word there, but I'm not going to repeat you on that. But we'll give a platform for that. I agree with you. There's the life of a Ghanaian parliamentaries. They love being in parliament to say yeah and tria, but they don't like to stay and develop their electoral areas. God is watching them with his half eye. The Presido supported the minority by saying tria. He added a bit of humor. The state of the nation was not stated, but the state of the future was promised. How possible? I will come to the studio. Keep your messages coming in. I will catch up as the show goes along. And I'll give you 2 minutes to react, and then...
let
me give him 2 minutes. You wanted to run out 2 minutes, and then...
First and foremost, he talked about Jida, he talked about Sada. People are being prosecuted, yet they still have a challenge. And I think that as responsible citizens and even a serious political party, if you think that certain people are supposed to be prosecuted and they are not, you can initiate the processes of ensuring that they are prosecuted. We have Shiraj, we have Yoko, we have even the CID. Now, if you sit back and you tell me, let's just oppose between what President Kufuor said and what President Mahama is doing. I use President Kufuor because that is the only time, as far as the 4th Republican Constitution is concerned, that the NDC, the MPP have ever governed this country. That I will not prosecute alleged corruption in my government. If I do so, I risk collapsing my government. President Mahama did not say that. Allegations have been made. President Mahama says, go ahead and investigate. Investigations are done. Reports are submitted. He says, implement the reports to the fullest. The reports have been implemented. People are being prosecuted. We have the judiciary, which is an arm of government absolutely independent of the executive arm. Now, if people think that President Mahama should just pick those people and damn them in prison, I think that they will be undermining even the constitutional provisions of this country, which distinctively state that the responsibility to prosecute and either find guilty or otherwise is done by the judiciary to competent courts of jurisdiction. It is also significant, again, to mention the point that my brother was reiterating. He said that if you look at this government, President Mahama did not provide a vision. President Mahama did not tell people what he was going to do. If you are talking about the state of the nation, and there was armed robbery in 2013, and there is still armed robbery in 2014. The fact that you talked about armed robbery in 2013 doesn't mean you can't talk about armed robbery in 2014. What His Excellency the President said, that is why I said 2013, he talked about roads that were going to be constructed. 2014, he stated that those roads have been constructed. 2013, he talked about our capacity to increase the number of megawatts that we want to have. 2014, he has indicated how much we have. And I think that if anybody would not see this to be, then we have a challenge. He talked about the challenges that are faced by our security agencies, particularly the military and the police in 2013 State of the Nation address. 2014, he indicated the equipment that have been procured for the military. So if you turn around and you tell me that he didn't show direction, then you are one of those who are actually dazed.
Alex, I'm bringing you now.
You see, I first said that the whole presentation by the president lacked vision, and it was boring. And there was ample proof of that yesterday. I tell you, if you watch the TV or listen, the president did not finish his statement. He didn't finish. At a point, he realized that all of us were tired. His Excellency, the Vice President, was sleeping.
It's not true.
Please, I never interrupted you.
But I'm saying it's not
please,
true.
Respectfully. I was closer to where he was sitting, to the extent that the president even joined and said, Vice Abre. Did you follow that?
He never said that.
Yes, we said,
the
president
never
he
said
looked
that.
He looked in that direction.
No, he never said that.
No, I'm telling you.
I want to correct you. The president never said Vice Abre.
The vice president, at least, we on the minority who were closer to him, the man was dozing off.
Oh.
And I am saying that the president did not even finish his speech. He had to run up.
Oh.
Okay? Now, let's come to President Kufuor. President Kufuor never said he was not going to prosecute.
Wow.
Because if he did so, he risked collapsing his government.
He never said
what he rather said, be a gentleman. That's the watchword. What he rather said was that anybody who had evidence of corrupt practices should bring that evidence to enable him prosecute. Let's move on. When we come to the issue of free education, they say that it is not achievable. That's what they keep telling us. It has to be progressive and all the conditions and all that. We couldn't cost it and all that. Look, when MPP introduced the National Health Insurance, our friends in the NDC...
You didn't introduce it.
Please, respectfully, be a gentleman.
I hear.
Our friends in the NDC said it was not possible. When we got to 2008, and they realized that, look, MPP had achieved so much in the health sector. Then they said, okay, to be able to counter it, they should introduce this one-time premium. I asked them. I asked my brother, what happened to the one-time premium? They are dead silent on that. Let's come to the realities of Ghanaian life today. Mm-hmm. The government continues to give hope. It will be well. We are doing it. We've done it. Tomorrow it will happen. But trace it to the single spine. When single spine was introduced and workers thought that their life had been bettered, the next day fuel prices went up. And they had to. Between 2013 and now, we've had fuel prices going up for more than about 4 times.
Alex, but we have to buy the fuel.
I'm coming.
If you go
I will get there. I'll get there. I'll get there. Your salary is the same.
Yeah.
You are spending more on fuel. Salary has not gone up. You are spending more on food. You are spending more on school fees. You are spending more on rent. the real value. You know, surprisingly, yesterday the president did not talk about the macroeconomic figures. He didn't use the numbers because he realized that, look, the way Ghanaians are so disappointed, if he dared introducing figures that we've achieved so much GDP, and fortunately he stayed away from those numbers.
He did.
At least he saved himself from further criticism by veering off that route. But let's come back to the point again of free education. Yes, I'm coming. I
want you to answer the petrol thing for me.
Yes.
We have to buy petrol.
Yes.
So if we go on the petrol man says it's now 10 cedis instead of 5 cedis.
Yes.
What can we do as a country?
I'm saying that if you don't have proper management system in place, like what happened to the utility, okay, you just get up one day, PURC will say that we are increasing it up to this percentage, you have to pay. I am trying to situate those increments to the cash available to Ghanaians in their pockets.
Alex, again, is it not because both parties have always stopped the increase of utilities in so that you can get we are not talking about political gains here. We are talking about a government that has been in power for 6 years. That is what is on board. They have the mandate of Ghanaians. And we are talking about their management of the economy so far. That is the reality today. It is not about yesterday. When we introduce that kind of blame game, we aren't going to get anywhere. I'm saying that this government has had the mandate. The president, then as vice president, had almost 4 years being the head of economic management. 1 minute you round up and then I bring him in.
To date,
he will not.
We heard of CDB loan. Have you heard of anything again? Whether there has been any progress in the CDB loan? The government comes back and talk about railway infrastructure development. Look, I am saying that this government is good at doing the talking. It's like palm wine, full of sweetness, lacking substance. The president will talk about it, but in reality, the government has done nothing on railway. Look, I was a transporter for 10 years, and as a result of bad political policy, the transport sector in this country is virtually collapsing for those who are dealing with cargo.
Alex,
look,
I need to bring your brother in.
Yes,
I need to bring your brother in.
Yes, he would come in. I just need to land on the point. If you
20 seconds.
Yeah, sure.
20 seconds.
I'm dealing with the transport sector. You know the axle load implementation? The axle load, you are not supposed to load up to a certain weight.
For safety?
Yeah. They say the road, they need to protect. And well, not necessarily safety. If your truck has a capacity to load up to a certain level, that is what the truck has been manufactured to load. I'm not talking about human transportation. I'm talking about cargo transportation.
Yeah.
Good, please. I'm talking when the truck is made to carry a certain load, and government is enforcing a policy on limiting the load. You have a community of West African states where your neighbors have approved a certain tonnage. Then you say that your tonnage is going to be less than that.
Let me bring.
Otherwise,
it's going to take some of your time. Otherwise, it's going to take some of your time. Ibrahim,
so this government is far away from the realities on the ground.
Thank you.
I mean, they do things that is pleasing on paper. I'm saying that you do things that are pleasing on paper.
You've taken 2 minutes. You've taken 2 minutes of his time.
First and foremost, the vice president was not sleeping, so it is palpably not.
No.
Please, let me finish.
Okay,
it's a palpable.
We can't prove that. We can't prove that. You said he was. He said not.
No, he was far away,
gentleman.
No, forget about it.
Let's leave that.
You use that to blackmail me.
I
will not tone down on that. No, don't defend that. No. I agree that the government
will be so disappointed. They are watching.
Don't worry. Your laws are also watching.
Alex,
I'm coming.
It doesn't make any.
It makes a difference.
It's either here or there.
With the greatest respect.
Yes.
Let me take your leave and put this on record.
You saw him asleep. He didn't see him asleep.
No, he was far away.
Yes.
He was far away. He was far away.
He was far away. It's not even important.
Yes,
it's not even important.
So
it's okay.
The vice president was not sleeping. He
See,
never.
he's
He never
saying
said.
he can fight it.
Please.
He should say he didn't see.
He never.
We were closer on the man. We are
Alex,
with the
Alex,
minority.
okay. Alex,
I saw the minority leader. I saw the minority leader sleeping.
Alex,
You saw the minority leader
Yes.
sleeping.
Yes.
Well,
Because I faced him direct.
That is what you saw.
Are you getting the logic?
Okay,
Exactly.
you can go
The
ahead.
point is that
If that's what you want to say, no problem.
And two,
No
the
problem.
president never said anywhere, Vice Abre. He never said
I
it.
heard
Hold on. Those, please, can I finish?
Spokesperson, must you defend
Can I
even
finish?
the
Alex,
indefensible?
Alex,
civil.
Alex,
No. We have been civil, but
Alex, let him land. Then you react.
You look straight in the faces of Ghanaians and lied.
Who?
You. That's what you have done. The president never said that. When the minority said that Vice Abre, and the president said Vice Abre, yeah. Please, hold on, please. Can I finish?
Alex, you're not being fair.
The minority said Vice Abre, and the president said no. That was what the president said. You sit here. Please, Ambre, I don't understand Tree very well. You can't speak my language. I have managed to even speak Tree. But I'm saying that what was the president? For you look straight into the face.
Let's come to the substantive matter.
No, I mean what he's doing is not fair. I have listened to him.
I agree, Alex. You're not being a gentleman.
You see, culture says that there are three sides to every story. Your side, my side, and the truth. You have spoken. Let me speak. The viewers are discerning. They would make their conclusions. But you know, it's like the biblical story of the woman who didn't own a child and was insisting that they should. That is what he wants. I will resist the temptation of allowing this program to go that way. In fact, I would heap the evidences and the facts on you, so that you'll be more dazed like the minority was dazed yesterday. So the vice president never slept. And the president never said that. Anybody who is watching this program, you can play the tape to shame me or shame him. The president never said Vice Abre. That is a lie. It is also significant for us to look at some of the issues that His Excellency the President talked about. And then he raised those issues. Ironically, he said that the president indeed came and he was talking about change. And it's important I look at it. And he also said that the president never finished with his statement and had to rush. If you are not aware, you are not aware. And the fact that you do not know, don't pretend to know. The president,
please, can I finish? Made any point of his own.
Please.
It's all about reacting.
But if you lie, if you lie to people, I need to let them understand. Please, can I finish?
Let me
it does.
No, viewers are watching and they want to, at the end of the day, they want to find out what exactly did Murtala say, which is of substance.
The biblical story still holds. I will not say they should divide the child because the child is not yours. So the truth is not yours. And that is why you want to deceive people with the lies. Again, he also made another point. Yesterday, His Excellency the President anchored his statement on 4 thematic areas. The areas that he used to beat Nanado in the 2012 elections. Putting people first, job creation, infrastructure development, and transparent and accountable governance. And when His Excellency the President started, he said that his speech is going to be anchored on it. You have copies of the speech. And you realize that he took putting people first, where he talked about gender, Ministry of Gender, Health and others. He came to infrastructure, he came to good governance, and he ended on transparent and accountable governance. So the president finished every single statement. And you know one interesting thing? All those who were in the hall attested to the fact that the president was not just talking about theories, like he said. The president indeed provided what this government has done. And I will give you classical examples. When I talked about the security agencies, the fact that the president in the 2013 State of the Nation address talked about the state of our security and the police, and he indicated that this and this have been provided. He was specific. And in fact, the road constructed, the president was specific mentioning the roads. I'll give you another classical example. The Fufusi Road. The Fufusi Road was found in the 2001 budget, 2002 budget, 2003 budget, 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not a kilometer was constructed. As I talked to you, 2013, His Excellency the President mentioned it. Go and see work is virtually complete. If you get to Kwame Nkrumah Circle, he stated, if you cannot see the infrastructure development, he's talking about rural areas. I know the expansion of rural electrification. And rural electrification is expanded everywhere, including his district. Rural electrification is expanded everywhere. If he cannot see it, I can understand that if a person is not sleeping and you want to wake him up, it's difficult. Even if you bundle him and dump him in the sea, he will still be snoring. They were overwhelmed. They were technically knocked out. This was the president who delivered over 2 hours speech. And people were happy. People followed it. And I'm saying that in this country, we have had leaders who delivered long speeches, and the long speeches carried with some enthusiasm, with some love and admiration. What they planned doing yesterday, they planned to use the chair. The president virtually disarmed them. And you realize that chair became not fashionable, that they could no longer use it. And I am saying that even the minority leader could not resist but to nod when His Excellency the President was mentioning the names of the streets, roads that are under construction in his constituency.
I need to take
and you turn around and you tell me that nothing happened.
Back, Alex will obviously react. But in the closing statement, I want to know, is there ever going to be a consensus for a way forward? Stay tuned. Hello, and if I go on Facebook, Mike says, the president was excellent in his delivery yesterday. Since independence, successive governments have had their leaders heckled anytime the leaders go to parliament to deliver his State of the Nation address. The president did well. He made the atmosphere friendly for both majority and minority. He was able to address the state about the real state of the nation. He touched on developmental issues, and I believe those issues will be addressed before 2016. And then we have the opposite one here from Banasco, who says, do we take this NDC government serious? Common chokumpo, you found it difficult to supply to schools. How much more stolen-free SHS concept? Think about how they implement another stolen concept of the MPP single spine salary structure and the difficulty Ghanaians are enduring till now. Time will tell. So these are opposite sides. Keep your messages coming in. Alex.
Can I make this quick one? He talked about the fact that when they brought health insurance, and then why? Get Fund was established
I'll give you the last word.
Opposition from you. In fact, VAT, your flag bearer in 2012 led a demonstration. Some people were gunned down. When you came, please, the only thing you did, you expanded the VAT net. You know. So if you are telling me, and even health insurance, in 1996, in fact, the NDC had even piloted it in Demongo and other places.
Let me bring your brother in now. Alex, react to it.
Nana, you see, I wasn't expecting anything less from my good friend, being the spokesperson on the side of government. But the reality will tell you that as a result of the government's indiscipline, the government is going back to the IMF. IMF is there, and their programs are supposed to support your short-term budgetary, challenges. And if a government that has been so lucky to have had oil revenues in addition to the cocoa revenue and the taxes and all other minerals, and you are still in discipline, and you have to run to the IMF for the conditionalities that the Kufuor administration tried so hard and succeeded in winning itself of the IMF programs, and you just use small projects. You are doing Circle, which is a facility from the Brazilian government, and you say you've done well, you should be applauded.
Is Circle not major enough?
Oh, I'm coming. Okay. I am trying to relate it to our domestic revenue, our own resources, the taxes that we pay, the loans that government procure. This government has taken 6 times more than all government put together from 1957 to 2008 December. And what do we see? You see, it is not just about the token. The ordinary Ghanaian, his concerns about making sure that we get regular supply of electricity and water. Are we getting that? How many times haven't we been promised that, look, pay more, we're going to increase the quality, and we're going to be consistent? Is there certainty in the supply of utility? The markets, the investors, the people who go to the market to buy, the next day prices go up. People want to invest. They are so uncertain. So the variables are being pushed up. Then the ordinary Ghanaian suffers for it. Our ports. How many times haven't people complained about the way things are done at the port? Some people are taking advantage of the bonded warehouse system where there's credit. And then at the end of the period, they wipe off everything from the system. Government is denying the needed revenue. How many times does the government want to hear this? What has the government done? So if you are in charge as a leader, you know all these things. You don't do anything about it. Then you come and talk about change. I will not take you serious. I will say you are inconsistent. And if somebody will say,
let me give you another 1 minute to react.
Then somebody will come and say that, oh, it doesn't matter. The president doesn't need to be patriotic. If somebody tells you that the president doesn't need to be patriotic,
I would react.
Then that person is suggesting that the president is not being patriotic.
I will not stop from reacting in the first place.
No, but you said so.
In the eyes of all these challenges, government has consistently indeed told the people of this country that these challenges we are facing are but for temporal.
Self-inflicted.
Government has not told Ghanaians. Government has not told Ghanaians who are complaining that they don't have works, unlike President Kufuor, that they are lazy. The Minister of Information, in the person of Honorable Ayarga, hasn't told Ghanaians that they should go and eat konkonte. As a Boatin told Ghanaians that they should go and eat konkonte. This government, please, these are public. No, what context? These are public statements.
He's talking as if he's on the campaign platform.
Please, it doesn't. You can describe it anyhow. When they are exposed,
we are talking about
when they are exposed, that's what they do. His Excellency the President has indicated that yes, there are some faults that we incur. At least the CDB loan you are talking about, it didn't lead us to hairdressing salon. If you are talking about recklessness, then there can never be any recklessness demonstrated in the socio-political history of this country by any government where you go in for a loan and it ended up in the hairdressing salon. We haven't done that.
I knew I was never going to get enough time for this. But as usual, tomorrow is Thursday, and those who have access to Joy FM or My Joy Online, at exactly 2:05 p.m. tuning to a program I do called That's My Opinion. And tomorrow I'm saying, which state did the president address? It's going to be a fine piece. Tune in tomorrow. Which state did the president address? I had my two brothers in the house. My name is Nana Sakwa. And as I say, tomorrow we'll be back to do it all over again. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you.